All right, we're just going to start with our Scarecrow's head. So we're going to draw a circle up at the top corner, and then we're going to draw his hat. For his hat, we're going to draw a rainbow line with 2 diagonal lines pointing out, and then we're going to connect the bottom of those lines with a smile, and then another smile on top to make the rim. Next, we're going to do our Scarecrow's body. So our Scarecrow is going to be wearing overalls. So to draw that, we're going to draw a little horizontal line at the top, and then right next to it, we're going to draw another horizontal line. We're going to kind of draw a square U. It's going to end up looking like a block letter H, to be honest. So go ahead and bring those vertical lines all the way down from the shoulder to the pant leg on both sides. Draw 2 lines going in, draw a line going up, over, and then down. See, the overalls kind of look like a big H. Then we're going to add the buttons to the top that are just circles, and then a pocket right at the top too, because most overalls have pockets. And then we're going to add some patches. The patches are going to be where we're going to put our patterns. So just draw kind of like a square shape anywhere you want. I want at least 3 patches. And then we're going to draw little lines, just vertical lines all the way around to look like they were stitched on. I did some on the knees, I did some on the waist, and then you're going to see on the shirt I'm going to add some more. I thought it would be cute to have a little one under the pocket. That is cute. And then I'm just going to add some dots to make it look like the stitching on the overall pocket. We're going to put some hay on the legs because Scarecrow don't really have feet. They're just stuffed with hay. So we're going to put some hay coming out of the legs. And this is just some zigzag lines. Kind of looks like fire. Next, we're going to do the shirt. So to do the shirt, you're just going to draw the collar, which are 2 diagonal lines from the top of our overalls, like a V shape. And then we're going to draw our buttons going down. And then we're going to add some arms. So our arms are just going to be straight out. Because normally Scarecrows are made with broomsticks or sticks in general, and so there's no bend to the arms. And then at the end of the arms, we're going to do some more hay, which are just going to be that zigzag pattern again. And we're going to do some patches on the elbows. So still just drawing it square, that's not all the way finished, and then the stitch work. And then the little hay for the hands. Looks good to me. Let's add a little crow. So you're going to draw a little half circle for the head, a triangle for the beak, and then you're going to go down like a teardrop with a little wing, and then a circle and a dot for the eyes. And the legs are just lines with 3 lines at the bottom for the claws. What are we missing? What are we missing? Oh, yeah. Let's draw some practice boxes. These practice boxes are just bigger versions of the patches that we did on the overalls and the shirt, so we can practice some patterns that we like. Let's add some patterns to the hat. We're just going to do a checkerboard pattern without filling it in, so just vertical and horizontal lines to make it look like a straw hat. And then we're going to draw our Scarecrow's face. For the nose, we're just going to do a triangle, make a happy Scarecrow, and go ahead and put the stitch work on the smile as well. And then for the eyes, we're just going to do some buttons. So the buttons are just going to be circles with 4 little dots inside. Beautiful. You can add some extra stitches to the face if you would like to, but let's go ahead and get to coloring. So the Scarecrow head can be orange or green or whatever color. The buttons can be whatever color you would like. The hat can be whatever color you would like. You can even add a different pattern to the hat if you would like to. I didn't, but I did just make mine fully orange, which I thought would be a really bright contrast to the brown head. And here's where I started testing out some patterns in one of my squares. I think I wanted to do a checkerboard pattern in one of my patches, and I liked how it turned out, but I wanted to try something else. I tried some flowers, some little blue flowers, and I was trying to see if you would be able to tell that they were flowers. And then I colored in the background with a lighter blue to add some variation. And then I just used my lighter blue to color my overalls. Your overalls do not have to be blue. Traditionally, they are blue because they're blue jean like denim, but yours can be whatever color you want. I added some shadows by just pressing a little bit harder, and I really made sure that my overalls were fully colored, as should you. After you color all your overalls, then try to figure out a pattern for your shirt. That's what I was doing in my last square. I wanted a plaid shirt and I was trying to see what colors. I ended up using blue, red, and yellow for my plaid shirt. And you can copy that or you can come up with your own plaid shirt if you would like. But I went ahead and I did the lines first. I did the blue lines, and then I'm going to go in for the red lines, and then I'm going to color it fully yellow. And after you have your big pattern, so you've colored your big overall, you have your pattern for your shirt, then you need to go into those patches that are on our elbows and our overalls. And then those patches need to have patterns in them as well. And I know they're little, so you can draw itty bitty little patterns. And then don't forget to color the hay. The hay should be yellow or orange because that's what a color hay is. I added both, and it kind of made it look like fire even more to me, which I thought was really silly because a scarecrow wouldn't be on fire. So here's where I'm getting into the nitty gritty. I'm going into those little squares. I'm doing the patterns. And I know the patterns are little, but they're going to look super cute. It just adds a bunch of color to our otherwise blue overalls. And then I'm coloring in the crow. Crows are always black. And I did an orange beak. And then I thought that my scarecrow needed some hair. So I went ahead and drew that up in the corner. You can add hair to your scarecrow if you would like. Next, we're just going to cut it all out. Keep your squares together. That's going to be the back piece. And then cut your scarecrow's body out, the head out, the hat out, and hair if you chose to do hair. And then go in and cut your crow out because we're going to glue it all onto a popsicle stick. Once you have everything cut out, write your name above your pattern squares and your class code, and then start gluing. I want you to glue from the top down. So start with the head, glue the hair, glue the hat, then glue the body down, and then finish with the crow. And then on the back of your scarecrow, I want you to glue down those squares that we practiced our pattern and that has your name. And then we are all done.